Today I'm going to talk about why I quit shooting CZs and have moved on to carry optics. Are you ready? Stand by. There's a good chance that if you found this channel when I was shooting production with my CZs, you've been asking yourself and scratching your head, why is all the content about Glocks and specifically red dots? Glocks, it's not because I'm necessarily interested in them. I'm a competitor at my core. I'm not necessarily a fanboy. And when I switched divisions, at the time, Glock was a much better option than CZ. So I chose the tool for the division and moved on. What I want to talk is more general about why, in my opinion, CZ as a brand is going to have to kind of reimagine and reinvent itself if it wants to really enjoy the momentum it's built over the past 5 years in the American market. Now, before we dive in much further, if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and consider subscribing. If you are subscribed, hit the like button. If you want to save some cash on some cool gun-related stuff, you can follow the links in the description. I've got some discount codes that can save you on high-quality concealment holsters, magazines, and the stuff that goes inside them, and projectiles if you're going to make your own ammo for competition. So check out the link in the description. Again, please like and subscribe, and let's jump in. Before we dive in with that, that's probably a half-hearted explanation on why I actually quit shooting CZs. I still really like CZs. I think they're great. And if you want an iron-sighted 9mm gun, I think the Shadow 2 is about the best one anybody's making, short of the Lago Arms Alien. For the personal stuff, which you guys don't really tune in for, in 2018, it was my goal to set out to be a production grandmaster in USPSA. I had made master in 2017. And I was going to really ramp up my participation in the game. I was going to shoot more matches. I had got a membership to the best gun club in Georgia, Riverbend Gun Club. Check them out. And I was going to really get there and tune up. But then in January, I had a baby. In March, my wife suffered a loss in her family, which made us ask where we wanted to live in the country. And in May, we moved to Texas. Now I don't have an outdoor membership to a gun club. And once all of these events kind of unfolded, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to participate to the extent that I wanted to make GM. Now, before making the switch in division, I actually rented a Gen 5 Glock 17 and I got a timer and I shot a bunch of drills with the Glock Gen 5 17 with upgraded sights and my Shadow 2. What I noticed was that everything short of reload drills, I was shooting the same speeds, same score, shooting the same group size. The gun didn't matter that much to me. It could just be a me thing because my level of development as a shooter, I'm able to work around the pistol and it's not as big a deal. But the advantages I thought were there on the CZ, I'm starting to be able to realize on other platforms as well, as long as I begin to understand them and how I need to be gripping them. I don't make the pistol fit my grip necessarily, but to an extent I can adjust my grip to that pistol and get it to perform roughly the same. Took about 3 months and then I was right up the curve where I was with my CZs. So I picked up carry optics gun in the interest of becoming a better production shooter. It was initially intended to be a 6 to 9 month experiment and to move on. Unfortunately, the division showed me that I hate low cap divisions. I think they're arbitrary and silly. So I'm probably not going to shoot production ever again. I won't say never, but I can't see the point in shooting low cap if high cap is a viable option. Now, back to CZ and why I think they're losing relevance as a brand and going to lose momentum. The taste of the gun market is really set by the gun games. USPSA specifically, these are the power users. They are the ones who introduce CZ to you probably, not necessarily directly, but the power users are really good, influence people who work at gun stores, who influence their purchasing managers, who start stocking CZ on the shelves and enthusiastically pushing it behind the counter there. It's still not a huge popular brand. It's still difficult to find somewhat, but I don't think that's going to get a whole lot better, at least on their traditional steel double single options. The reason why that is this. Gun games kind of oriented themselves around what the prototypical gun was at the time. So in IDPA, since about 2000, it's been SSP, which is stock service pistol, which is supposed to be like stock car racing, what you buy off the shelf. In USPSA, rising meteorically since about 2000 has been production division, which is again the promise of stock car type racing with pistols. Production was intended to be the off-the-shelf everyman type of pistol, while limited was supposed to be the Cadillac, the souped up, go fast division for iron-sighted pistols. Fast forward to 2017, 2018, when the USPSA passed a ruling that basically anything you wanted to do to a production pistol short of making it single action was legal. Now production is basically limited with 10 round capacity. That's basically where USPSA is at. So production no more has become the everyman type pistol, the reflection of the modern service pistol available to civilians. It's become these slightly less raced out limited guns. And if you look at the numbers of the 2018 USPSA Nationals, they bear this out. The Shadow 2 is the #1 most popular gun. The Stock 2 is also very relevant. Neither of those are available for less than $900 to $1,000, and neither of them are on anybody's service belt or CCW weapons, except for the crazy people in those CZ groups on the internet. Why you guys every day carry CZ Shadow 2s? I don't know, but you do it, so whatever. I made another video about the relevance of carry optics and how in 2018, carry optics experienced a surge in participation. It's still not quite as relevant as open, but it's knocking on the door, and I'm willing to bet 2019 is going to change that picture even further if the local participation rate is anything to say about it. Now, carry optics more closely resembles the everyman style service pistol, as pretty much all pistols are coming with an optics ready cut, and that is the more desirable one rather than just the iron sight ones. The people who are saying I just don't trust red dot sights are generally people who have no experience with them and don't realize that they're significantly more robust than they realize. This is the pistol that most people can go in a gun store and say, yes, I want one that looks like this. And this in carry optics is the division where this pistol can go race. And not only does the carry optics division provide the analog for the everyman type division, it lets you load the magazines all the way up, which is what everybody wants to do anyway if they're honest with themselves. What's interesting about carry optics on the USPSA side is it's still a minor only division, which means it's not spray and pray. You have to aim. You still have to shoot about the same points as you do in production. Not quite as many because you can skew towards speed a little bit more with a higher capacity magazine, but still you have to hit alphas. You can't just eat Charlies and Deltas all day and expect a good score. And what's interesting about USPSA, and again, these are the taste setters for the division, is USPSA set a 45-ounce weight limit. Whereas previously, with the development of the Shadow 2, the trend was towards heavier frames with lighter slides that recoil lighter to get them to be the softest shooting gun you could get. There's a 45-ounce weight limit. So if you want to buy an $1,100 gun, you have to spend another $400 to get somebody to chop on that slide to seat an optic on it. And then you're talking about basically a $1,600, $1,700 pistol at that point to race against these $600 to $700 pistols that are less than half the price. I really like CZ pistols. I think that the most relevant models moving forward are no longer going to be the 44, 45-ounce hammer guns, and it's probably going to go back towards more of the P10F. I honestly think it's stupid they haven't released an optics-ready P09 yet. I think that's the logical choice for the carry optics division. Why they haven't released that, I have no idea. But that is the direction of the market right now, and that is sort of the intersection of Timmy's and Poors and a very fun division. So if CZ really wants to maintain the momentum they've been building and the inroads in the American market, I think they're going to have to orient themselves around the red dot just like other manufacturers have. As a summary, CZ grudgingly accepts red dot pistols, and that's going to hurt them as carry optics as the division rises and continues to set the taste for the American consumer market. 2, CZs are great pistols. I really enjoy shooting them. However, there were little quirks, and this is just me because I'm lazy and I don't like buying $50 in parts every 10,000 rounds or so. But the old CZs, they broke slide stops, they broke trigger return springs, and that was annoying. But as long as you don't mind buying those parts for your $1,000 gun on about a 6-month interval or whatever it is, they're fantastic pistols. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Leave a comment, disagree with me. I love arguing in the comments with you guys and telling you that you're wrong. But otherwise, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks. Take care.